If you're a US investor and you're even thinking about selling your crypto based on today's prices, you are walking away from what's about to be the single biggest wealth transfer in American financial history. No, that is not hype. It's a calculated reality. It's being built right now behind the scenes while the mainstream market does everything it can to keep you distracted and panicked. But here's the twist. Here's the one piece of data that flips the entire script. 99.3%. That's it. That's the number. So what is it? That is the percentage of all traditional financial assets. We're talking stocks, bonds, real estate, the whole shebang that has not yet moved onto the blockchain. And it's all about to make that jump. And by the time we're done here, you are going to understand the precise institutional framework, the actual plumbing that Wall Street and US regulators have already greenlit to capture every single cent of that 99.3%. All right, let's get into it. First things first, we have to understand the game that's being played, because what you see in the market right now, it's a calculated, and for many, a very costly distraction. There are two completely different realities happening at the same time. On one side, you've got the retail view, right? All you see are daily price dips, panic selling, news that sounds like the world is ending. It's all designed to get you to sell. But on the other side, you see what's really happening, the institutional reality. They're quietly building the infrastructure, they're getting regulatory approval, and they're making massive strategic partnerships. So while you're panicking, they are quietly accumulating. And this brings us right to the heart of their entire plan. What they're building is a multi-trillion-dollar on-ramp for all of those traditional assets. The key, the magic word for this whole thing is tokenization. And look, it's a simple concept. All it means is converting the rights to a real-world asset, think a share of Apple stock or a US Treasury bond, into a digital token that can zip around on a blockchain. This is exactly what Larry Fink at BlackRock has been shouting from the rooftops is the future of all financial markets. And listen, this is not some crypto fantasy. This is a direct quote from Paul Atkins. Who's he? Oh, just a former SEC commissioner, a top regulator. He's telling you point blank that the entire US financial market is getting ready to move on-chain. When a guy like that says something, you better believe you should listen. So the most crucial part here is that this is already in motion. These aren't just ideas, these are irreversible steps. Step 1, the SEC has already acknowledged the need for this. Step 2, the DTCC, the group that settles quadrillions of dollars in US securities, has already launched its tokenization pilot. And step 3, they've set a hard target, the second half of 2026. That's when they're targeting having securities on-chain. This isn't a guess, it's a locked-in timeline. So the trillion-dollar question is, where are all these trillions and tokenized assets actually going to settle? Well, the answer points to the XRP ledger. It was literally purpose-built for this exact job, high-volume, real-world settlement. It's really the only public ledger out there that can handle that kind of volume for a fraction of a penny, with settlement in just a couple of seconds. That's the kind of performance Wall Street demands. But look, tokenized assets, that's only one side of the coin. For this new system to actually work, you need a tidal wave of liquidity. And that brings us to the second pillar of this whole institutional framework, a silent flood of money. And just like with XRP, it's the same exact playbook with XDC. Retail investors are totally missing the point. Yeah, the price is down, but while everyone's staring at that, the asset has quietly become the backbone for a multi-trillion-dollar industry. The price suppression is just a mask for a massive explosion in its real-world use in trade finance. An explosion, you ask? What kind of explosion? Just look at this number, $115.9 million. That is the amount of USDC stablecoin that just poured onto the XDC network. Let me be clear. This isn't you and me buying, this is serious institutional capital getting into position. And just check out the speed of this move. It's unbelievable. Just last week, there was about 35 million in USDC on the network. Today, it's almost 116 million. That is a 231% jump in a single week. That's the fastest growth of USDC on any chain, period. This isn't happening by accident. This is all part of a plan. It's being driven by smart, calculated moves. First, they acquire the trade finance giant Contour. Then, a huge partnership with Bybit to pump in USDC liquidity. This is all about meeting the insane demand for a universal settlement layer in the massive trade finance market. Okay, so let's put these two giant pieces of the puzzle together. Because when you understand how they connect, you'll realize your final window to get in position is closing as we speak. What you are witnessing right now is the convergence of two massive financial revolutions. You've got the tokenization of all traditional assets, with XRP sitting there as the settlement layer, and at the exact same time, you've got this explosion of liquidity for trade finance being built on XDC. Make no mistake, this is the final signal. I really cannot say this any more clearly. The window for you to act is closing. That quiet period, the one where institutions were buying up everything while retail was scared out of their minds, it's coming to an end. This price suppression cannot and will not last forever. This is Crypto Global News, and we are here to make damn sure you do not get left behind. To stay ahead of this, you absolutely need to subscribe right now. Go ahead, smash that like button, and you must hit the notification bell, because missing the next signal is simply not an option. And for the information they don't want you to see, for the uncensored updates that you need to get first, you've got to join our private Telegram. Scan the QR code on your screen or use the link down in the description. Do not click away. The quiet phase is ending, we know that, but the explosive phase, it has a timeline. I have mapped out the exact month this whole thing is set to begin in the video that is on your screen right now. Click it. You need to watch it now.
Stay ahead in the crypto market. Subscribe now for the latest global news and updates.